Okay, but I had a sneezing fit right before you guys came on. My eyes were watering like I was crying like a baby. Who knows? Minute to minute. Okay. Call this meeting to order at 6 o'clock. Please put your hand over your heart for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
Allegiance
to the
to the
flag
flag
of the
of the
United
United
States
States
of
of
America
America,
and to
and
the
to the
republic
republic
for
for
which
which
it
it stands,
stands, one
one
nation,
One
nation,
nation,
under God,
under
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with
with
liberty
liberty
and justice
Yeah.
for all.
for
Thank you, everyone. Clerk Wright, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Boyden,
here in Van Buren Township.
trustee Miller,
Here,
Van Buren Township.
yes.
Good. Trustee
No,
Martin.
Hawaii.
Trustee Martin.
Here in Van Buren Township.
Trustee Frazier.
here, Van Buren.
Treasurer Bud.
Here in Van Buren Township.
The clerk is also here in Van Buren Township. Supervisor,
Here in Van Buren Township.
we have a quorum here in Van Buren Township.
Thank you. All right, thank you. I'll begin with the executive summary. The executive summary, we have our consent agenda, which is rather lengthy today. Basically paying our usual bills, setting up, paying them, doing the minutes. This year, we're also going to be setting our holiday schedule, and we'll be providing the Board of Trustees meeting schedule for next year. There's also an agreement for the national opioid litigation, which is something that's just winding its way through the courts. Yeah, we're also going to be entering into agreements for an opt-out for the medical, which is what we do every single year, and approval of the appointment of Elaine Gutierrez to the Board of Review. We're also going to be reappointing Dolores Hogan, Mary Corrigal, Patricia Sobecki, Patricia Tumas, and Helen Wiley to the Endowment Committee. They are longstanding members. In new business will be a final reading, which means it becomes a law of an ordinance to rezone property on Ecorse Road from general business to light industrial. We'll also be considering personal service agreements for Christopher Campbell and Michael Jopowitz. They're going to be communication specialist positions. And then we're going to discuss addition of a diversity, equity, and inclusion policy into our handbook and manual. And then we're going to have another personal service agreement for Kathy Adams as a treasury specialist position. Finally, we'll be going into a 15-year extension request to continue our relationship with Ypsilanti Community Utilities Authority and a $750,000 upgrade to our dispatch with Motorola. Just giving you a warning, it's going to be a little bit of a long night today, okay? Moving forward, adoption of the agenda. Can I get a motion to adopt the agenda?
Through the chair, I make a motion, we adopt the agenda as presented.
Support.
Okay. All right, I got a motion for it. I got support. Do I have any discussion? Hearing no discussion, all in favor? Oh, excuse me, clerk, I'm sorry. Clerk, could you read the roll?
Trustee Frazier,
Yes,
trustee Miller,
Yes.
trustee Martin,
Yes.
trustee Boyden.
Yes,
Yes, for me, Treasurer Bud.
Yes.
Supervisor,
Yes,
motion passes.
thank you. Next item is adoption of the consent agenda. Trustee Martin, could you make the motion?
I make a motion that we adopt the consent agenda with the following items. Number one, work study session meeting minutes of November 15th, 2021. Item two, closed session meeting minutes of November 15th, 2021. Item three, board meeting minutes of November 16th, 2021. Item four, prepaid list of November 18th, 2021. Item five, prepaid list of November 25th, 2021. Item six, prepaid list of December 2nd, 2021. Item seven, voucher list of December 7th, 2021. Item eight, approval of the 2022 holiday schedule. Item 9, approval of the revised 2022 Board of Trustees meeting schedule. Item 10, approval of resolution 2021-29, authorizing entry of state government interstate agreement concerning allocation of settlement proceeds in the national opioids litigation. Item 11, approval of resolution 2021-31, authorizing entry of participation agreements in partial settlement of the national prescription opiate litigation. Item 12, approval of resolution 2021-32, annual exemption, opt-out. Item 13, approval of the appointment of Elaine Gutierrez to the Board of Review with a term to expire December 31st, 2022. Item 14, approval of the reappointments of Dolores Hogan, Mary Corgle, Patricia Sobecki, Patricia Toomas, and Helen Wiley to the Endowment Committee with terms to expire January 15th, 2024.
Support.
Treasurer Bud. Okay, I have a motion for approval by trustee Martin, and I have support by treasurer Bud. Hearing no discussion, clerk, could you call the roll?
Trustee Martin,
Yes.
Treasurer Bud,
Yes.
Trustee Boyden,
Yes.
Trustee Frazier,
Yes.
Trustee Miller.
Yes.
Yes for me, Supervisor.
Yes, sorry.
Motion passes. Let me word for a minute there.
Well, actually, I just noticed that Representative Puri is sitting out there. You have a legislative update. We were going to do a legislative update our last meeting. We were going to move it to this meeting because we couldn't, and we did not. So I'm going to ask the board if you guys would like to move that in as a presentation.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay,
Fine with
Sure.
me.
all right.
Yeah, good.
Okay, so we're into the public hearing. We have none. So now we're here for correspondence, announcements, and presentations. I have one that's for the treasurer. So the treasurer's office will be open on December 30th. That's a Thursday, December 30th, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. In order to take in-person personal tax payments. It'll be the only department open beside police and fire. Clerk Wright? You're on mute, clerk.
Just in case we don't have a December 21st meeting, the Charter Townships of Van Buren Municipal Office will be closed starting December 23rd, returning January 4th, 2022.
Thank you.
That's it.
We have our Representative Ranjit Puri here. We were hoping to have a legislative update last time, but there was something came up and he had to stay in Lansing. Representative Puri, welcome to Van Buren Township again. Take it from there. What's going on up in Lansing?
Thanks for having me, Supervisor, and thank you to the board for sneaking me in today. I appreciate everyone making a little bit of time. We're staying busy here as we come here with the end of year activities happening in Lansing. So we're keeping busy every day here. Just wanted to start. I'll be brief today, but wanted to start with the note of we're keeping Oxford and the recent tragedy in mind. It's absolutely unacceptable for the situation like this to exist, and unfortunately it's sad when it hits close to home. But I'm working with a number of colleagues here to try to get some legislation through to try to make our schools safer. I know I have two small boys of my own, and anyone with young kids in their family, just every time I put them on the bus now, it's every parent's worst nightmare to think that this might be the last time you see them, and so that's unacceptable. On that note, we are working hard. Staying in schools, kind of switching tunes here though. Did also want to congratulate Van Buren Public Schools and Belleville High School and their football team on winning the Division I state title. Was proud of the boys, was following them all season. So we have a couple special tributes We're working with the athletic department to try to get them to Lansing, and we'll give them some special shout outs in the Capitol. So we'll keep everyone posted on if we're able to do that. Back to a little bit more of a somber tune. Sorry to kind of roller coaster of emotions here today. Also on COVID, yesterday, our number of cases are continuing to climb. I just want to encourage everyone who is able to get vaccinated, to get the boosters. Again, if you're eligible and you're able to do that. Yesterday's case number was actually the 5th highest since the beginning and the onset of COVID. So cases are still very much really high. Our hospitals are slammed. I've talked to a lot of the local health systems here. It's no different here in Van Buren and Western Wayne County. Our health systems are absolutely slammed. And so obviously everyone's been paying attention to the news. And so, we want to try to lower the amount of hospitalizations as much as possible. Also in our Lansing world, we are in the middle of redistricting. And we've talked about this in the past a little bit. And at my recent coffee hour in Belleville, so they're redrawing the shapes of all the districts based on the 2020 census numbers. And so for elections that are going to be happening next year in 2022 for the state house, the state senate, and the congressional seats, all those districts are going to look very different. And so as it stands right now, the commission is taking public comment. And so if you have opinions one way or another, you're more than welcome to go online on the website and submit your opinions and thoughts. And so it's one way to get involved, civically and be involved in the process. So I encourage everyone who is interested to go see some of the proposals that are out there for the new districts and to offer up your comments. And then on the Lansing side itself, we're taking up a great number of bills. And as always, if anyone has comments, concerns, questions, my office is available. And my email is just my name, Ranjiv Puri @house.mi.gov. And I will leave that information in the chat, and it's available on my website and all over. But it's very important that if you have thoughts, to reach out to my office. We love hearing from everyone. And we want to make sure that we're lifting up everyone's voice in Lansing. And so kind of went through a lot there, though, but that's kind of high level what's happening in our world. If there's any questions or anything, I'll be here for a couple minutes. And thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Supervisor, I had one more thing I forgot. Actually, Representative reminded me that I had it sitting here. The last meeting I did a recap of the last 2 weeks COVID numbers for our community, which is, I include Belleville too, which is VVT in Belleville. Van Buren for the last 2 weeks. The 2 weeks prior to the meeting was at 289 for the 2 weeks. Belleville was at 24 combined, which is running about 10% efficiency based on our population. We did drop from December 5th up until today's meeting. As of yesterday, we had 146 cases for the last 2 weeks and 12 cases in Belleville, which is about 5% based on our population. So the reason I say this is so that same reason as our representative saying that we stay aware that we still have a huge incident of COVID out there. We have this new variant that now that is out that's supposed to be 10 times more spreadable than the Delta. So I just want to remind all the constituents to stay vigilant and wear your mask. If you don't want to get vaccinated, wear a mask when you go into public areas. That's the only way we can get through this thing. Hopefully, the right thing we do is we getting vaccinated, but we're not going to go into that. We know that's an issue, but if you don't want to do that, I would ask when you go into a public place like Myers, Walmart, wear a mask. Thanks.
Thank you. And I was kind of taken back when I saw Reggie Puri out there, but we do need to have a moment of silence for Oxford. I mean, this is just a horrible event.
Absolutely, you're right.
Take a moment, okay? Okay. Thank you, Ranjeev, too. I also wanted to remind everybody that we have a national championship football team in our town.
Ah!
Yes, we do.
Oh my God, those things are so rare. You're going to be seeing this, the Hoosiers. This is so exciting.
You got a national football champion in your household, don't
Yeah.
I do. My grandson, he's a
you? Yeah,
junior.
congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was out of town, but I was ecstatic. Jabari went to the game. Jabari was back, and he went to the game. He was giving me the play-by-play, and they was going crazy. It was something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great.
okay. At any rate, I don't know what we can do, but whatever we can do, we will do. Obviously, we were caught a little bit flat-footed with our social media and our communication specialists not being on board yet. And but we would love to do something for them if we can think of something. So put your minds at thought and we'll figure something out. All right. Does anybody else have any announcements they would like to make? No? Okay, we're going to be moving on. I believe I'm going to do public comment. Is there anybody from the public out there that wishes to make comment on today's activities?
Supervisor, at the moment, I do not see any virtual hands raised. And I do not have any comments in the chats, but I will remind that we do, Mr. Representative Puri did share his email address in the chat for anybody in the public that wants to see it.
That's great. Thanks. Okay, so we're going to move on to new business. This is the second reading, so I need somebody to make a motion and read this second reading of an ordinance.
Supervisor, I'll go ahead and make the motion.
Yeah. What's going on here?
I don't know, I'm kind of waiting.
It's like Jeopardy on the buttons.
All right. Discussion on and to consider approval of the second and final reading of ordinance 11-16-21 and paren 1 to rezone parcel V 83-41-99-004-001 paren 42061 Ecorse Road from C1 General Business to M1 Light Industrial. Can I have a support?
Support.
Okay, was that?
Bud.
Okay, all right. All right, so we've got Director Power. Could you continue?
Yes, absolutely. Very quickly, I'll just put the parcel back up on the screen just to reorient people to this. But otherwise, most of my commentary came at the last meeting, so I don't have much else to add, but I just want to give you another chance to look at this site as you make your decision. This is the parcel to the west of the Ashley Crossroads South distribution space there, and to the east of the Kirkwood Cooperative. And what they're looking to do is DTE is looking to rezone this parcel from C1 to M1 as mentioned, in order to give it some additional flexibility as a space to build a substation, which will increase service for businesses and residents in the area. So the M1 rezoning provides a little bit more utility to be able to do that, some more flexible setbacks. And this is supported from staff's perspective to keep DTE's project moving forward. So I'm glad to answer any questions about it. And at this time, I'll stop my screen share unless anybody wants to look at that image again.
Nope, DTE has a plan to improve our electricity, our service, and this is part of it. So.
How can we argue with that?
No.
Yeah.
All right, so I have a motion by Trustee Miller, it's been supported by Treasurer Bud. Hearing no further comments, Clerk Wright, would you call the roll?
Trustee Miller,
Yes.
Trustee Bud,
Yes.
Trustee Boyden,
Yes.
Trustee Martin,
Yes.
Trustee Frazier.
Yes.
Yes for me, Supervisor.
Yes,
Motion passes.
thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm gonna take, without hearing nobody else complaining about it, I'm going to take number 2 and number 3 together. This is discussion on and to consider approval of the personal service agreements between the township and Charles Campbell and Michael Jopowitz. They are both going to be communication specialist positions. Trustee Frazier, you want to make a motion?
I make a motion, we approve the appointments as presented and we welcome them.
Support.
Okay. All right. So, Deputy Supervisor Selman.
Good evening, board. Along with me, join me as Director Sumter and Mr. Michael Japowitz and Mr. Chris Campbell are both online as well. Director Sumter and I went through an extensive round of interviews and reviewed, I don't know, there must have been 3-4 dozen different resumes that came in for this position. We had quite a bit of them. And after rounds of interviews, a couple different rounds, even with these candidates, they really separated themselves from the pack. And Mr. Campbell comes with an extensive experience coming from Southfield and their multimedia department, which is completely compatible with a communications department and just has a lot of knowledge in this field and this space. And Mr. Japowitz, he's worked as a photojournalist at, was it an ABC affiliate in Indianapolis?
Yes, that's right. ABC affiliate.
An ABC affiliate. So he's got a lot of photography experience and telling different journalistic stories in that area. And he would be, if approved, would be moving to Michigan, excited to get into this area and get involved with our community over here. So if Director Sumter would like to add anything, I can kind of defer to her and see if the board has any questions.
Good afternoon, board, good evening, board. I would just say that I agree 100% with Dan. The actual numbers were closer to 90 resumes that we reviewed total. And we kind of boiled it down to only a few that we thought were the top. We narrowed it down to say the top 10, then we narrowed it down to the top 5. And Christopher and Michael were in that group. We also did this with our previous communications director or specialist, Ryan Nichols. So he was able to assist us in choosing the best candidate as well. I just want to say that the two of these gentlemen come with lots of talent, an Emmy Award winner here with Michael. I have Christopher Campbell, who wrote an award-winning speech for one of our, what is the U.S.
Congresswoman.
U.S. congressmen, yes. So we have winners here as always at Van Buren. That's all we have is winners. We are winning in this hiring pandemic that everyone else is going through. We are not struggling finding the best talent. So with that, I will take any questions that you might have, but we have two really excellent candidates. And I will say, while you were talking, Supervisor, I text them to make sure that they heard you when you said you wanted something put out about the award, our nationwide football team. So
Yes.
they did hear you.
Good.
Are they hired yet?
All right, I know, right? Let me start this off. I would like for you to consider this approval highly so they can get on that. So they
All
can
right. Well, in that case, welcome, gentlemen.
Actually, it's a state title, but who's gonna?
Oh,
It's a
not
state football
nationwide?
title, no, just a state Division
Well,
One.
we're winners. So I'll just say nationwide. We'll get there.
Exactly.
I like to take a little license, national. All right, Clerk Wright.
I don't really have a question. I just
Roll call.
have a statement. I view both resumes and both resumes are very impressive. Congratulations. I have a request. to give us, to both of you guys, asking you to give us at least 36 months.
Give us a
That's all,
try.
that's all I ask.
I think that's more than doable.
You say that now.
Yeah, we get hunted a lot.
We normally produce, we produce talent and everybody try to snatch our talent away. So that's why I'm asking, give us at least 36 months, please. But the sharks will start circling.
Yeah, can do. We can do that.
Same
And you
here.
both live here in Michigan?
I am,
Hi.
as you can see from the boxes behind me, I am working on getting back to Michigan.
Right.
Coming from Indianapolis, but Michigan is my home state. I'm very, very excited to come back.
Well, I'm from Indiana too, and it's nice to have someone else in the township from Indiana.
That's wonderful. Yeah, I've certainly enjoyed my time here in Hoosierland.
Well, welcome, both of you. Excited to have you both.
Yes,
Absolutely.
we're
Absolutely.
lucky to have you.
Yeah, can't wait. We're looking
right,
to hit
great.
the ground running. Can't wait to tag team this whole communications initiative with Michael, and can't wait to articulate your vision and helping people appreciate why Van Buren Township is a great place to live, work, and play.
There you go.
Well
Wow,
said.
that's
Yeah, Christopher.
impressive.
Sound like you got,
Somebody
You're
did it.
right.
sound like you've been doing your homework.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Okay.
you definitely came from a radio station, I can tell.
All
All
right.
right, vote them in.
We have two that we think very highly of. And we have invested heavily into making sure that they have all the equipment they need and finances and people to be successful. And so I'd like to call for a vote to put them to work. Okay? Clerk Wright.
Okay, who made the motion and supported it? Who was that?
Frazier and Miller.
Trustee Miller? I mean, you
Yeah.
say trustee Frazier?
Frazier.
Trustee
Frazier.
Frazier.
Miller.
Yes, very much. Yes. Looking forward to having them on board.
And who supported this? Johnson?
I did. Miller,
Trustee Miller.
yes.
Trustee Martin.
Yes.
Trustee Boyden.
Yes,
Treasurer Bud.
Yes.
A yes for me. Supervisor.
Yes.
Motion passes. Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard. See you
Thank you
tomorrow.
very much.
Thank you, board.
See you
Thank you so
Monday.
much.
All right. Yeah,
We'll
I'll
be
see
there.
You ready to hit the ground?
We're gonna hit the
Absolutely.
ground running.
Yeah.
All right, we're moving on to number 4, discussion on and to consider approval of the adoption of the diversity, equity, and inclusion policy. Can I get a
I'll make
motion,
that motion.
Mr. Wright? Clerk
I'll
Wright?
support it.
I make the motion to adopt and consider the adoption of the diversity, equity, and inclusion policy and approval of an update to the policy and procedure manual to include this policy.
Support.
Okay, got a motion support. Director Sumter.
Good evening, board. I will tell you that back in, I would say, late September, Clerk Wright pretty much told me that we are going to have a diversity, equity, and inclusion policy, and we came up with one together, which I think you all have read, and I'm very proud of. He sent the pretty good example from Johnson & Johnson, and pretty much I was able to copy what they had and just put our name and some of our values in there as well. And although it's late getting before you, I will tell you it couldn't have come at a better time, as we just completed our first valuing diversity, equity, and inclusion training, which was very well received. I'm excited that we got a survey after the fact that showed that the employees really found the information valuable. It wasn't the normal black, white issues. It covered everything. And we got the employees rated the facilitator at a 4.4. So that was really good. So I was very proud of that. So I will say that it couldn't have come at a better time that I'm here to present this policy to you. We do want to promote a workforce that reflects our community. We already have started that, and I'm excited about that. I think we all are. We wanted to move out into the community where people are more receptive to applying and wanting to work for Van Buren, but also on the inside, we want our employees to be respectful of each other, which we always are. We learned the CARES acronym, which was pretty cool. So I'm excited about that. It pretty much just showed that the employees are ready for change. We want everybody to be themselves. We know everybody is unique, and we want to be inclusive of everyone. And that's not just Black, white, we have disabled. I think I said that right, guys. Forgive me if I misstepped on our training and CARES, our CARES acronym, but we want to include everyone. And the CARES acronym stands for communication, appreciation, respect, and empathy and sensitivity for all. So with that, I will ask for your approval for our first diversity, equity, and inclusion policy into our policies and procedures manual.
Well done. Does anybody else wish to ask anything or make any comments?
Go ahead.
I just want to say I'm thankful for Ms. Sumter keeping us up on what is necessary to make us a premier township. And this is something that was very needed, and I appreciate her efforts on that part.
Thank you.
Wow, Trustee Frazier, you must be reading my mind. I was going to basically say this, the same thing. I would just like to kind of echo what Trustee Frazier said. I believe this policy is one of the things that's going to help put us in a position to be that premier community. It's not only just how we look, but it's also how we act, how we treat each one day to day. The training was great. I think it hit home just like it should. As Trustee Sumter indicated, equity and diversity doesn't always mean Black and white. It's across the board. It's how we treat each other as a whole, all ethnic or individuals and just organizations. So how employees treat each other, how we respect each other day to day. And I think that's something that was greatly needed. And I said that we didn't have a big issue. It's just something that always needed in the workforce, and we keep to remind the employees that this is something that we need to do. And with this policy, it also states that we're on top of making sure that Van Buren Township is engaged in making sure that the employees that represent the community in which we serve. We serve a very diverse community, and employees of that community should look and sound and act like the people that we represent. And I think I speak highly of that because I feel highly regarding that. Director Sumter's right. I didn't tell her we were gonna have one, but I told her that we really needed one. We really needed a policy and a good one that we could stand behind. I think this one is great. So I appreciate you guys for supporting it. With that be said, if there's no more questions, I call the roll.
Through the chair, I just wanted to thank Clerk Wright for advocating and bringing this forward to Nicole Sumter. Thank you, Leon. It's much appreciated. You always have our best interest at heart.
Yes, thank you.
I appreciate that.
Any other questions? Clerk Wright, take the roll.
Okay, I start off by saying yes for me.
Okay.
Trustee Miller,
Yes.
Trustee Frazier,
Yes.
Trustee Martin,
Yes.
Trustee Boyne,
Yes.
Treasurer Bud,
Yes.
Supervisor.
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we're moving on then down to discussion item to consider approval of a personal service agreement between the township and Kathy Adams for the treasury specialist position. This is Treasurer Bud. Oh, wait, I need a motion and support.
So moved.
Mr. Boynton,
Support.
Support.
and was that right? Clerk Wright?
Yes. Yes.
All right, excuse me. Go ahead. Treasurer Bud.
I think it's pretty explanatory as to what it is. She will help out in the times when, and I think we noticed it more when we were working on the shifts. We really needed someone that could do some of the services that normally an account clerk wouldn't do. She could do the payroll transfers. She won't sign checks or that, but she will do the other things that when Sean and I aren't there, she can handle, and she can run the office and be in charge. So that's why we're requesting this position.
Okay. Does anybody have any comments or questions? Hearing none, Clerk Wright, would you call the roll?
Yes. Who made that motion?
Trustee Boynton, yes.
Trustee Boynton.
Yes.
Yes for me. Trustee Martin.
Yes.
Trustee Frazier.
Yes.
Trustee Miller.
Yes.
Treasurer Bud.
Yes.
Supervisor.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right,
Thank you.
Okay, moving on, we're going to have a discussion on and consider approval of a resolution to enter into a 15-year contract extension for wastewater services with the Ypsilanti Community Utility Authorities, who we currently are working with. Can I get a motion and support?
I
To
make
the
a motion.
chair.
we approve.
Trustee Frazier? And then, as you are the member of the that board anyway, and then do I have support?
Support.
Trustee Miller. Okay, Director Solms, could you update us on what we're doing here?
Yep, pretty straightforward contract extension with YCOA. There's 5 accounts in the southwest corner of the township. Their wastewater treatment goes to the Ypsilanti treatment facility. It's just kind of a boilerplate contract. So, you know, we highly recommend this be approved.
Treasurer Bud, do you have anything to say on this?
Well, not really. It's something that we've had for a long time. So it does let residents that are not able to connect into our lines to be able to connect into IPSI, and we handle it through them up until the time when we would ever have lines in, then they would come back to the township. So it's just a convenience for the folks that are just outside of where we have our lines.
Sure. Okay, does anybody have any questions? Hearing none, Clerk Wright, would you call the roll? We have motion by Frazier and supported by Trustee Miller.
All right. Trustee Frazier.
Yes.
Trustee Miller.
Yes.
Trustee Martin.
Yes.
Trustee Boynton.
Yes.
Treasurer Bud.
Yes.
Yes for me. Supervisor.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Director. Okay. Number 7, discussion on and to consider approval of the agreement between the township, between Van Buren Township and Motorola for dispatch upgrades. Can I get a motion and a second?
I make a motion we approve the agreement with Motorola as presented.
Okay. Boynton?
Second.
Okay. Okay, Director Lorraine. Bring him up. And maybe Louis Gill, is he in there? Is he out there?
He is supervisor.
Good evening, Trey.
Louis Keel. Louis Keel runs our dispatch center.
Yes. I'm sorry, I kind of joined late there. I apologize. You looking for some information in regards to the contract, sir? I apologize.
Well, let's tell people what's going on.
Okay. Basically, our current dispatch council is the MCC 5500. It's an 800 megahertz system. The end of life for that system was 10/30 of 19, and end of support was 12/31 of 21. This console runs the entire dispatch center and all the radios connected to it for the entire public safety department. So basically, it's become outdated equipment. We need to upgrade it to the current version that we can have serviced.
So after 12/31, it's no longer a warranted item, and it's also no longer serviceable if they don't have a part laying around for it.
That's correct. That's correct. If something were to happen to it, they can't guarantee they can fix it. Therefore, we can't get any maintenance agreements on that system itself.
So if we want to be
There.
now, okay, so I will add this one last thing. You're getting this kind of in a weird way because we're asking you to approve the contract today, although you've already approved it to be in next year's budget. So we won't actually pay for it until next year's budget. But I have to tell them we're going to do it because in 1 week the price goes up $75,000. So I figured that I'd do it this way with your approval.
Through the chair. I think it's a no-brainer. I think we have to do it, and it's been good, and we look forward to keeping it up.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Okay. All right. Okay. This really angers me that this even happened. This is exactly the kind of capital information that we were trying to get around to make sure it didn't happen to us, but it did. We got caught flat-footed. Turns out a lot of people got flat-footed because I went to the conference in Western Wayne. We had a 15-minute discussion about it last month because we're not the only dispatch center out there that was just informed that their state-of-the-art stuff they put in 10 years ago is no longer going to be serviced.
Well, that's comforting.
Yeah, no. And here's the worst part of it. Motorola has the proprietary chip design, is the only one that speaks to the state of Michigan's CLEMIS, which is what operates the entire dispatch and license plate search and everything. So you have no choice but to buy this piece of equipment. Nothing. You have to have it. So.
All right.
We're locked in.
All right. Enough said.
Okay, so I have a motion by trustee Frazier. It's supported by trustee Boynton. Any other discussion? Hearing none, clerk Wright, could you call the roll?
Yes, trustee Frazier,
Yes.
trustee Boynton,
Yes.
trustee Martin,
Yes.
trustee Miller,
Yes.
treasurer Bud,
Yes.
yes for me, supervisor,
Yes,
motion passes.
thank you. Well, that's moved a lot faster than I thought. So we have reports, we have none. Public comment, we're at public comment for non-agenda items. Moderator, do you have anybody?
Supervisor, I'm currently not seeing any hands raised or any comments that are actually public comments in the chat, other than some from crosstalk. I will state though that Elaine Gutierrez is still online. She is our new committee member, and she stayed and watched the whole meeting. So I don't know if we would like to acknowledge her. She is able to speak right now. I'm muting her.
Thank you, Elaine.
Yes, thank you for your service.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for voting for me. I will try to do my best.
No.
You'll be
I'm not
great.
sure-
We
I'm
know
not
you
sure
will.
quite what the role is, but I'll learn as I'm going.
You're a fast learner.
Yeah, we've trained a lot of people before you. Will be
That's true.
Yeah. Board of reviews out. Yeah, you've got professionals all around you in that thing, so you'll be fantastic. Okay. So let's see what else is there. Board comments. Is there anybody from the board that wants to make a comment?
Yes, I would like to make a comment through the chair. I just heard today that Brian Cullen has passed, not Brian, his father has passed away. And he was on the planning commission for years and years. He has served the museum for years and years. He's just been a real asset to the community, him and his wife and their children. And I did hear that he has passed. So I would like to have a moment of silence for him.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Thank you, and our hearts go out to his family at this particular time.
Anybody else?
Yes, I have a couple things to say.
Okay.
Being the newest board member in the past year, I would like to take this moment to say, hopefully we won't have another meeting because that'd be premature saying it now, but I'm going to say it now. I want to thank all of my colleagues on the board right now, every single one of you. I want to thank all of the directors, all of the superintendents, and all of the employees as a whole of Van Buren Township for being with me and guiding with me and talking with me and some folks confiding in me, all that they wanted to during my first year here. I know that the honeymoon is now over. Actually, the honeymoon really felt over back in March, but we won't talk about that. That's all water under the bridge. I just want to say thank you for making things so easy and so much more bearable as I learn and as I also bring all of the tools that I have acquired professionally to bear as I go through my walk as one of the elected representatives of Van Buren Township. And I would hope that we continue to work in this as a team, as a unit. And as we have all said through so many times that we've come together, we will not always agree on everything. That's well known. We will not agree on everything, but to be disagreeable in a civil manner and to be able to work together, that is the key. And that is what I feel is the most prominent feature that this board has together. Yes, we may bite, we may bark, we may snipe, but after we get done with that, we all come together and we find the common ground and we get the things done. And I really, really appreciate that out of everyone that I have mentioned beforehand, and to anyone new coming on board. Thank you so much. And I wish all of you and your families, as well as the public at large, the merriest of Christmases and the happiest of New Years.
Team Township.
Yeah. Through the chair, I just want to say we're lucky to have Don as a member of the board, and we look forward to working with him. His views are greatly appreciated.
Thank you.
There's a good chance that we will not have a second.
Yeah, through the chair.
Oh, sorry, click right.
Through the chair, I would just like to say, since we're not a good chance we won't have another meeting, just in case, I would like to wish everyone on the board and everyone out there in Van Buren land a very happiest of holidays. May all your holidays be safe, happy, and prosperous throughout the new year. And like I've always said, we have a great board. That's democracy at work, Trustee Martin. You don't agree to everything, but as long as you can come to a common agreement at the end, that's true democracy at work. So right. We've done another year. Welcome aboard to you. I think you did great. I always say I think we have a great board here. We do good work together. We've done a lot of work in the past years together, and I hope we continue throughout the next year and beyond. I care deeply about every one of you. I hope you know that, and wish to all of us success in the coming year.
Thank you. Same to you.
Amen.
Okay. And so anybody in the public's wondering why we're canceling the meeting, it's only a few days before Christmas when this next meeting is gonna happen. Number one. Number two, our senior leadership pretty much has got to take their vacation that they did not get to take a lot this year. So they entered the use it or lose it mode about the week before Christmas. And number three, the computers, we literally have to turn the computers off a couple of weeks before the end of the year, or people would be processing stuff right through January. So we have to shut, you are not allowed to process any more orders. It basically helps to make sure that if you've got $30,000 sitting in your department, you can't run it up to January 1st and try and spend it.
Yes, Sherry.
Yeah. This locks them all down. So, so pretty much, no new orders are even allowed to happen in a couple days going forward. So that's why they probably won't need to have a meeting. All right.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Happy holidays to everyone.
We are adjourned. Thank you very much.
Did you need a motion?
Give me a motion.
So
Sure.
Motion.
So moved.
And Frazier. All right, hearing nobody against it, then we are adjourned. Merry
Good night,
Christmas,
everyone.
Good night.
Good night. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Bye.
Holidays.
Bye-bye.